guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Katie and I'm a stay-at-home mom of 4. I also run the budget shop, Purple Glimmer Budgets, which is where you're going to find a lot of the products that I use in my videos. You can find my shop on Etsy or also my website, PurpleGlimmerBudgets.com. My husband and I are on a journey to pay off a lot of our high-interest debt using the cash stuffing method as a way to control our expenses. If this is something you'd like to follow along with, just keep watching. In today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I have a bunch of cash and placeholders in my Christmas fund as well as my secret stash envelope, so I want to go ahead and consolidate that all into my Christmas savings wallet binder, whatever you want to call it. So that's what I'm going to do in today's video. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the cash and placeholders out of my Christmas envelope. So let's go ahead and just take the Christmas envelope out of here because I won't be stuffing my Christmas through this anymore, at least until I'm all saved up for Christmas. So let's just go ahead and grab the cash out of there. So we have 1,500, 600, 700, so 1,700 in placeholders, which I have the cash for that right here. We have my secret stash money and then 20, 40, 60, 81. So we have all this money to play with as far as stuffing my Christmas wallet. So let's go ahead and do that. If you are not familiar with my shop, this is the binder that I'm talking about. It is my larger size, so I chose the $3,000 budget. So with the larger size, you get 25 sleeves. Each have 4 slots, so that's a total of 100 slots. So that's why I will be stuffing 30 into each one of my slots. The binder does not come with this, but I am thinking about listing it. I have myself a little placeholder bookmark where I'm gonna put it in once I've stuffed this, so that way I don't have to keep flipping around to figure out where I am in the challenge. I'm thinking about adding this to my shop if you're interested in it. If you are interested and it's not my shop, always shoot me a message and I can let you know if it's something I can do. Also, just kind of for FYI, I went ahead and used glitter, I should say sparkle laminating sheet on mine, so mine's a little bit different. If you're interested in the sparkle laminating sheet, shoot me a message before your order and we can kind of have a conversation about that, because this comes standard just with regular glossy lamination, and it does have this nice protective cover as well. So let's go ahead and put this to the side, and then I want to go ahead and get the cash counted. I'm going to start with my secret stash cash just to see what we have and what we're working with. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is all of the random challenges that I have completed so far. So I am just gonna go ahead and get the cash out. I have verified that I have the correct denominations. I just kind of wanted to have an idea of which challenge it was all from. So a lot of these are my challenges, my mini challenges from my $2 Tuesday videos. So that's where these are coming from. There is a few from my game challenges, like for instance this one, the roll the dice. I did finish that, so I decided to go ahead and throw that in with this. And then I did word search. Now I just found a blank one that I still had just to kind of tuck it in to remind me that's what that's for. So I chose each word to be worth $15, so this saved me $150. So let's go ahead and get these trackers out of the way. Okay, so let's go ahead and sort this cash, and then I'll count it. So I have a bunch of 20s, 10s, and then a 1, 10s, 20s, 1s, 10s, 20s, 1s, more 10s. So I'm not going to use all of this cash for the binder because it won't be easily divisible. It won't be evenly divisible by the 30, so whatever is left over, I'll figure out where I'm going to stash that. So I'm only going to be stuffing amounts divisible by 30. So let's go ahead and get this counted and see how much I have here. Actually, I like to count highest to smallest. So I have 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 85, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 91, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So is this 689? So 689 divided by 30. So I'm going to be doing, let's see, what's 23 times 30? So I'm actually going to grab my ding 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 envelope and I'm going to steal $1 from there because then this will be divisible by 30. So here is my ding 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 envelope. I am going to go ahead and steal one of the singles from there and do this, and I just want to recount this to make sure that this is 190. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90. Okay, perfect. So it is divisible by 90. So this will be easy. I'm just gonna have to stuff all these 10s into something, but we will be fine. Yeah, we'll be fine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this over here in the cash tray just to keep the denominations separate. Let me go ahead and separate these. And the 10s are all random, the 20s are all random, but that is fine. It all works. And I know there's supposed to be 5s between the 10s and the 1s, but it'll be fine. Okay, and then so here I should have $1,700. Before I get that counted, if you haven't had a chance to subscribe to my channel and you like my content, I greatly appreciate it if you did hit that subscribe button. I'm on a quest to reach 1,000 subscribers, so each one of you who takes the time to subscribe, which is free, helps me achieve that goal. Also, if you have a moment to interact with my content, it can be something simple like a thumbs up or leaving me a comment below. I always appreciate that. I love chatting with you guys in the comments. It makes me feel I have a bunch of friends rooting me on and just here to cheer me on and just kind of talk. So it kind of takes away the away from socialization that happens when you're a stay-at-home mom. So I definitely appreciate those that take the time to comment in my videos. So again, I should have $1,700 here in cash. So let's go ahead and count that. So I'm going to get my fingertip moistener if I can remember where I put it and use that because my fingertips are really dry. Here it is. Because this is a lot of cash. And the last thing I want to do is be battling them and them sticking together and all kinds of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and swap these because I like to count largest to smallest. And then we're going to get this out of the way. So I have 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85. That's 500. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85. So that's another 500. So 20, 40, 60, 81, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 92, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 93, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 94, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 95. So then there should be 200 here. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 91, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 92. Perfect. So it's all here. Let's go ahead and again split the denominations. I am just gonna kind of separate them a little bit more because there's lots of 10s and 20s. So I want to make it as easy on me as possible to grab for cash. So, and I also think I'm gonna move things around. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these placeholders because they're not needed anymore. And then let me move things around a little bit. There we go. This will just be a little bit easier on me to get things situated. So I'm gonna go ahead and stuff all this cash into here. And I thought this would be a great time to kind of answer some questions that I've received over on Instagram when I posted out there to ask questions, as well as some of my YouTube videos and just some other random questions. So the first question I received was, what hobbies do I have outside of budgeting? When I am not like doing budgeting or taking care of my kids, I really enjoy reading books. I've always liked to read. I am a very fast reader. I can read around 100 pages an hour. I'm just gonna do them this way. So you'll find me reading. I like to read romance, so, and I like romantic suspense. I guess this doesn't work that way, so we will do it this way. Let's see what else. So that's what you'll find me doing. I tend to read at least a couple hundred books a year. I have Kindle, and so I have the Kindle Unlimited just to kind of keep budget conscious, to kind of feed my hobby and addiction of reading while also being budget conscious. So if you like to read, definitely check that out. I've enjoyed it. I started with the Nook first, which was by Barnes & Noble, and then very quickly went over to Amazon, and I've never turned back. So that's been my thing. I used to work in a call center right out of college, and it was crazy. Like the first year I worked there, because I worked there about a year, so a little over a year, I like literally went through $1,000 worth of books on my Nook. And so I was really excited when Kindle came out with the Kindle Unlimited. Now at first it didn't have like the best books out there, but slowly they've gotten a lot of great authors. And so I found a lot of authors that I've gotten addicted to that I read quite often over there. Let's see, what else? I've also been asked if I have any dogs. I do have 2 dogs. They're both mutts. We've adopted them both. We adopted our oldest. His name is Buster from San Antonio. And fun fact, he was like $25 adoption fee, which was really inexpensive. And my husband decided to open his mouth and say, hey, dogs are so cheap in Texas. We could adopt a whole bunch of them, and it wouldn't cost us nearly what we would do back home. Because I want to say back home it was like at least $150, if not $300 to adopt dogs here. And so yeah, he had jinxed us before like the adoption even got official, because he had not been neutered yet. He developed parvo, and I had a dog in college that had parvo, so I knew it was very serious and that I needed to get it treated right away. I guess my dog in college, I caught it towards the back end, so it wasn't really expensive. It was like $200 to save him. Yeah, Buster cost us $2,500 before he was even officially ours. We kept trying to reach out to the rescue to find out what they could do for us as far as getting him treated, and they kind of ghosted us. So our choice was just to kind of let him be and probably die, or take him to the vet and get him treated. So he was brought to the vet and treated. They did a lot of like IV fluids and stuff, and he just seemed really disheartened. So at one point we did check him out of the vet and brought him back home for a while just to kind of get his spirits back up. And then we brought him back to the vet to finish his treatment. And I do think checking him out for that little bit of time did help him rally a bit. So that is one dog we have. The next dog we have is Marshall. Now he is not a Dalmatian, although he looks like a Dalmatian. He's probably some type of pointer. He's a mix as well. We got him, I want to say almost 3 years ago. His birthday is coming up. His birthday is a week after our youngest son's birthday, so they share the October birthdays. My son always loves pointing out when Marshall's birthday is. I'm not sure if I told you our second dog's name. His name is Marshall. Our youngest son named him because he used to be obsessed with Paw Patrol, and so he named him after Marshall from Paw Patrol. He's been fun. He's very puppyish still, so he's crazy. He's also the one, if you hear me like talking about, well, my dog was just barking, I'm sorry, that is usually Marshall, because he barks at like everything. So if someone walks by, he's barking. So those are my dogs. Let's see what else. I guess since this is a cash budgeting channel, I can kind of go over some of my information as far as cash budgeting. I decided to get back into cash budgeting, I would say about a year ago or so, and so I've been loving it ever since. I've tried to do it before, but my husband, he's an accountant, so he's not really into having a lot of cash on hand, and honestly, it kind of intimidated me at first too, because there's not as much security with cash. I mean, if you lose it, it's gone, whereas if your bank card gets stolen and it's not a PIN transaction, you have some security there. But I have found a lot of freedom in cash budgeting. There's just something about the tangibility of cash and holding myself accountable to like physically handle all of the cash that's going out of our budget. That's kind of helped me curb some of my spending, because I do have to say that I have a bit of a spending problem. I like to spend money. I'm one of those that gets a bit of a dopamine hit when it comes to spending money, and so kind of dialing myself back and doing cash budgeting where I have to think about all the money and touch all the money that's going out of our bank That has helped me quite a bit. I have noticed that our bank account balance has been staying pretty healthy very easily, so that's been good. Now, I am different in a lot of the cash budgeting community, in which I'm not one that's like, I have to be debt-free. Yes, I would love to be debt-free, but I also want to enjoy my life as long as I'm here. I did lose my dad when I was 12, so I have a very different outlook on life when it comes to things. You can't be buried with your money, so I'm not one that cares about amassing a great fortune and kind of getting out of debt. I do also know that there are certain debts that when you die, they die with you. So I'm not afraid of having that towards the end. We also have very healthy life insurance balances that if something were to happen to me or my husband, our kids will very much be taken care of. So I'm not afraid of that. Also, again, I was 12, so I lived through losing a parent and everything that entails, and seeing my mom lose her spouse. So I have that perspective as well, which is kind of why I stray more from not like sacrificing enjoyment of life in order to be debt-free. Because I mean, yes, it's amazing to not have debt and it can be less stressful, but I'm not necessarily petrified of debt. I mean, if our debt ever got to the situation where we could not make our debt payments, then yes, I would very much trim the fat, live extremely leanly. But at this point, our debt is okay. There's some cards, and that's again why I kind of introduce myself every video on we're trying to like manage our high interest debt. Like our credit cards, they have gotten slightly out of control, so I'd like to get them more in line. But again, I'm a big proponent of you only have one life, enjoy it. And so I'm trying to use the cash budgeting to get myself to curb down on some of the materialistic spending that comes with that. So, and we're also trying to work on our kids to help them understand that money isn't everything. It's really easy to spend money to make someone seem like they're happy, but that doesn't necessarily mean happiness as well. And they are starting to feel that and understand that, which is nice. Because it's really easy to throw money at people to make them feel better, but that just is like, it's a very short-lived high, in my opinion. So that's just kind of my thoughts there. Let's see, what other questions? I guess another question that has been asked is how often do I review my budget? I review my budget anywhere from like every other month to once a quarter. With me doing my unstuffings on a weekly basis, I have a really good handle on where our spending's at, where our categories are at, and stuff like that. And so I'll make adjustments based upon how I'm feeling through that. So that's kind of what's going on. And my cash budgeting journey at this point is, again, focused on our spending expenses rather than like the whole picture. As I continue on and stuff starts to settle out more, I feel more comfortable kind of going into some more of the nitty-grittiness of our budget. But for now, I'm taking my baby step of looking at our spending budget and trying to get that under control, because old Katie would have had our bank account down to like nothing. And it's nice to know that we definitely have a decent amount. We have, I would say, I guess it's a 5-figure balance in our bank account, which is nice. 5-figure meaning like over 10,000 or more, pretty consistently, which is nice. Where old Katie before this journey would have it down to like maybe 1,000 or something. Because if it gets like anywhere below like 2,000, that's when my husband starts like being like, okay, we're broke. I'm like, okay, your definition of broke and my definition of broke are very different, because they'll like constantly tell me like, we have no money, we're broke, because we have most of our money in an account that, I mean, I can get access to it, but I don't have such visibility to it. And so he'll like always tell me we're broke. I'm like, okay, what's your definition of broke today? And usually it's been like 5,000 or less in an account, because we have 2 accounts. And so he's always making fun of me there. Plus, with him being an accountant, it was a little tricky to get him on board with letting me do this cash budgeting thing over this last year, because again, he's not a big proponent of having cash on hand. He wants it in the account, so that way it's earning a little bit of interest. And then we're in the process of transitioning most of our money into our high yield savings account only, and then just keeping our bill money in our local account, and then just a little buffer for when I need to pull some cash out, because we can't really pull cash from our high yield savings account because it is like, it's an online bank and not really a brick and mortar bank. So we have most of our money in the high yield savings account, and then the rest of our money is in the local credit union. It's just they have all these like hoops that we have to jump through for us to get like a good interest rate return on the money that we have in their bank. So that's why we've kind of pivoted to going to our high yield savings account, because you have to get like 25 debits. So like at the end of the month, we're counting up, okay, how many swipes did we do? And then if we don't have enough swipes, then we run to Dollar Tree or Walmart and go buy like a handful of like super cheap items, because the dividend that we would miss out on by not doing that is significantly more than what we're spending. So it makes sense to do that. And I'm tired. We've been doing that for years, and I'm just like, it's not worth it. So when our bank that has our high yield savings account offered the rate that they did, which is better than our normal credit union, we jumped on that. So let me see what else. So another question is, how do I come up with like ideas for my YouTube channel and Etsy? If you've shopped on my Etsy shop, you'll notice that a lot of my challenges and a lot of my most popular items are around my game challenges. So I loved playing games with my dad growing up. That was kind of our thing. We would do game night. Also, after he passed away, I got really close with an aunt of mine, and every time I would go up to Chicago and visit with her and spend the night or the weekend with her, we'd play games. I especially remember playing Clue and Scrabble and Uno with her all the time. So those were definitely games that I wanted to try to figure out a way to turn them into savings challenges. So that's just something that's kind of near and dear to my heart, because it was something that I remember doing with my dad all the time. So I wanted to kind of implement that into my cash budgeting journey. And then some of my great customers, they'll reach out and be like, hey, would you be able to turn this game into a savings challenge? And so then if it's a game I'm familiar with, I just kind of refresh myself on the rules and try and find a way to make the savings challenge as that is a really gross 10, but I am very, very low in 10, so it's just gonna have to be okay. I try to stick to the integrity of the game. That's something that that's very important to me, because you can like slap a game board on a savings tracker and then have it like be nothing like the actual game. Whereas I want you to have fun, like you're playing the game and also having the extra benefit of saving money. So that's how I come up with those. And then I've seen some other items by other shops and get inspiration from them. I don't try and copy them. I try to kind of put my own little twist on things. And if I am doing something very similar to someone in the budgeting community, usually I reach out to them and I say, hey, I want to do this, and I kind of get their blessing. And so I've gotten the blessing from some creators. So that's been awesome. That's the other thing that I loved about this community, is I've met a lot of great people who just cheer each other on and are always willing to help out. So I'm a person who likes to help out a lot as well. So if I see another creator who like has a question on how to do something and it's something I can help them with, I'm happy to like hop in and like not be a gatekeeper and just let them know on like how to do things. Or if there's like knowledge that I have that they may not, I kind of am happy to like spread that along. Yes, I am a stay-at-home mom, but a fun fact about me is I actually hold 4 different master's degrees. I have a Master's of Business Administration with no concentration. I have a Master's of Science in Human Resources Management. I think it's a Master's of Science. It could be a Master's of Art. I can't remember. But I have one in Human Resources Management, also one in Human Resources Development, and my most recent one is in Accounting. I was really passionate about doing my master's program because I was a slacker in my undergrad and got really close to not graduating, not because I wasn't smart or couldn't handle the material, but when I was an undergrad, I was working crazy hours. I want to say I was working like 50 hours on top of doing school, so it was crazy, and I always carried pretty much a full course load. I actually graduated high school with, I think it was 32 hours of college credit, so I had a substantial amount. And then one semester I ended up having to drop out of school for personal reasons. And then I moved out on my own and had been on my own ever since. So freshman year in college, I did like the normal college thing. And then sophomore year was a bit of a rough year for me. And that's when I moved out on my own. And I've been on my own ever since until I got with my husband. And then we got married and all that stuff. So that's a bit of me in a nutshell. Another thing is, what is something that would be surprising for someone to learn about you? I would consider myself on the neurodivergency spectrum, not necessarily autistic, because I haven't gotten an official diagnosis with autism, but I was diagnosed with, or not diagnosed, I was identified as gifted when I was in elementary school, and I was actually also considered someone who's considered twice exceptional. That's when you have giftedness, but you also have a learning disability. I also would not be surprised if I don't end up either getting a diagnosis of ADHD or autism, and in the process of trying to at least pursue the ADHD diagnosis, if not the autism diagnosis, because I am starting to see signs and symptoms in my kids and realizing that there is a genetic linker there, and finding out that if it is genetically related, they most likely got it from me. Just because after doing some research on it, I'm like, oh, this explains a lot of things that I did not understand about myself growing up, and it makes total sense now. So having kids is a very humbling experience because you can learn some stuff about yourself that you had no idea about. And I did not even realize that that was going to be the case when I started having kids. I was like, oh, little people that are fun and everything. And it's like, oh no, it's a humbling experience because you learn a lot about yourself that you did not know. So also, didn't say this in the beginning, but it'll probably be somewhere in the description. This is going to be my announcement video for my giveaway. I figured this would be a perfect video to do that. So once I'm done stuffing this, I'll kind of go over the prize and how to enter. So I'm really excited about that, to give you guys something back for all those that have taken the time to add me to your subscriptions on YouTube. I greatly appreciate that. So since I'm through my halfway mark, I'm like, why not give back? I like to be as generous as I can at times, so that's what I decided on doing. Let me see what else. Okay, another question and answer is, how do I handle unexpected expenses? So the good thing about doing this cash budgeting journey is that I do have a decent amount in a lot of my sinking funds. So if necessary, I'm not afraid to take from other sinking funds to ensure that I don't have to write an IOU. Worst case scenario, if it's an unexpected expense that I'm able to do financing on, like 10% or lower, or right around the 10% or zero financing, I'm not afraid to make a savings challenge for that and save up to pay that debt off or hold that debt for a little bit. Otherwise, what I'll do is I'll just steal it from other cash categories that I have. So yeah, that's the other reason why I'm not completely afraid of debt, is because in order to be able to take on debt for the unexpected, you have to have and manage debt. This next bit of information, I just want to preface, I'm not a financial advisor, so don't take this as financial advice. But another reason why I'm not afraid of debt is that if you pay off your credit card and you're not spending on your credit card, eventually your credit score will go down. So when you do need debt because you've maxed everything out or you just don't have the emergency fund, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get the debt. So I want to always have that option if necessary. Again, I'm very different than others in the budgeting community, but that's kind of the great thing about life, is that everyone has their own thing. So, okay. So I did some math there. Let me see. So 1,700 divided by 30. So that was not divisible by 30. So that's where I messed up. Hold on. No. 1,800 plus 6. 1,800 plus 690. Plus 690 divided by 30. Okay, so I'm going to steal another 10 from my ding 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 envelope if I have it. So here's my ding 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 challenge. So I'm stealing a 10. So now I have my final 30. Ultimately, I wanted to just keep racking that up and see how far I got it to. But at this point, just having cash just to have cash in something doesn't make sense. So I'm going to make it work for me and get it in here. So let's see. I'm going to put it down here. So then let's just count to make sure that I have the right amount of sleeves filled. So 80, so I should have 20 and then a sleeve of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then I have a sleeve of 3. So we are getting really close. So 100 minus 84 times 4. No, that's not right. 100 minus 83. So I have 17 left to do. So 17 times 30. So I only have $510 left to stuff in this. So my goal is to get this all stuffed. So let me put my little bookmark that I made for myself here. So that way I can easily find my spot next time when it's time to stuff. So, I mean, it's getting really, really thick, which is exciting. So that's also why I did the bigger discs for this. So that way when you do stuff this, you have plenty of space to have it grow to what it needs to be. So that was a lot of fun stuffing that, even though I messed up again. It couldn't be a video of mine without me making some sort of mistake. Again, this is another reason why, like, I'm pretty sure I have ADHD, because I get distracted very easily. And yeah, I was able to mask up until like age 35. I'm 37, by the way. And all of a sudden I just couldn't do it anymore. So now I'm having to try and figure out ways to kind of cope with my different issues. So anyways, that is all for here. So now the moment that you've all been waiting for is the giveaway. Okay, so now for the most important thing that I'm sure you guys are dying to find out. What am I giving away on my channel? So I've settled on the price for my giveaway, and it's going to be anything you see in my Etsy shop. So as I'm talking now, you see my Etsy shop scrolling through in the video. So the selected winner will be then instructed to go to my Etsy shop, take a look, see what I have to offer, and they will pick one item from my Etsy shop, and then that will be their prize. So let's go ahead and get into more of the details of my giveaway. Now the details on my giveaway, most of the rules will be listed in the description, just so that way all of my bases are covered. So in order to win the giveaway, you have to have a US address, so that way I have a way of getting the prize to you. Also, in order to enter the giveaway, you have to drop a comment below and make sure to put somewhere in your comment hashtag Purple Glimmer. So I will go ahead and put that up on the screen, so that way you know how to enter it into your entry. And so I will keep this open. I'm trying to think of when I am going to post it. I will keep it open for 2 weeks from when I post this video. So the date for the deadline will be listed in the description, because it's going to depend on when this video does go up. So I am super excited to host this, and I'm super excited to see who wins. So if you want to be entered in the giveaway, drop the hashtag Purple Glimmer down below. Thank you so much for those that have watched all the way to the end, and good luck to those who want to enter, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.